We're back. Yep. Tayo, I ask you a question, then I leave, so that you can answer it for when I get back. This game is so crazy. It's like a drug trip. I mean, I like this game so far. It's interesting, but there's been like no combat at all yet. And I feel like I'm just going through it slowly. But also the fact that they give me a skateboard and not any other way to get around kind of exasperates that a bit.
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea of data. That would have been its fate. Instead, it traveled from person to person until it finally fell right into our lap. Things always work out that way for us. We've traveled all over the United States trying to track down Sang Rouge. We can't let this chance pass us by, can we, Zach? We need to find some sort of clue before this southern sun melts it all away.
I would also actually laugh if we went through the whole game with no combat. Alright. Oh, what did I just use? I think I used the first aid kit. Oops. Oh. Just standing out here smoking in front of this woman's house. This kid just hanging out with me. Night has fallen, so Patricia went home. She doesn't want to see me do this. She doesn't want to see me leave this alligator here.
Yes. Perfect.
Oh, my dear lost lamb. What are you doing there?
Oh, this? This is all part of the Lise Clarkson murder investigation.
Something important, hmm?
Oh, yes. Very important. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. That's what everyone calls me. But what should I call you?
I'm Tyrone Sanders, pastor of the Lucare Evangelical Church.
Tyrone Sanders.
And what business does a pastor like yourself have in a place like this?
Well, I live over across the way there.
Do you have an intimate relationship with Mrs. Carpenter?
Why? Why in the world would you suggest such a pitiful thing? Lordy, lordy. How could I ever become intimate with one who is so devoid of faith? After she lost her husband, she stopped coming to church. All she does all day is bowl. She even pruned the shrubbery in that pitiful fashion.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yes, truly pitiful. And did you see that hideous ox of a dog she owns? Pitiful with a capital P. I tried speaking with her, but she shows no intention of changing her ways. Yes, I fear she never lends an ear when the good Lord reaches out to her. Indeed, I pity her from the bottom of my heart.
That's right, 10 Gauge. It takes place before the first game.
So you've been spying on her out of pity?
Spying? I'm merely awaiting the chance to lend her a helping hand. You'd best be careful, too. This town harbors much more danger than you're aware of. If you ever find yourself in need of salvation, feel free to stop by our church whenever you like. Our church also functions as a clinic. Someday, you may need our help.
Zach, did you hear that? Pitiful. Try saying that to someone in the city. They'd instantly slap you with slander or defamation charges. You'd be up to your neck in court papers. I doubt I'll tire of this town anytime soon.
That
We should
man,
consider stopping by that church whenever we get a chance.
that man walks with his like hips pushed forward and his back pushed back. It's very awkward. All right, head over to the diner. The church has been unlocked. In this game, time is a flat circle. It always continues to pass. Passing of time may affect certain events and whether or not you can enter certain areas. If you can't wait for a facility to open up, try sleeping in a bed at a hotel, camping outside, or smoking to pass time. All right. Next time I go out, I need to call someone pitiful to see if they sue me. Can we not do that instead? I'd rather not get sued. High quality bead. Look at that. Just stole this bead from that man's mailbox. You can add mail fraud to mail theft, sorry, to York's crimes.
How pitiful. Are you lost, little lamb?
I perform a church service every Sunday. How about coming down sometime and offering up your prayers to the Lord? Why was Lord in caps? Okay. Thanks for that, I guess. Why is this woman just standing at the end of her driveway? Kyle, in your neighborhood, when you go walking down the street, do people just randomly appear in their driveway and stare at you and then just disappear as you get a little further away?
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me.
Jeremy doesn't have a soul. So look at this guy. He's just standing in front of his house. I think the people in this town are zombies.
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world. And there's hardly any...
Oops. How they bumping in things just ends the conversation. Nope, now we have to. Oh, okay. Yes, add at the end. Actually, you're not. You come with my salad.
Looks like a case of bad timing. Let's come back later.
Okay. Looks like we gotta pass more time. So let's go back to the what's the time I need on this quest? Just says to head to the there. I don't have enough stuff to make a voodoo charm, I don't think. This lady wanted me to get rice for her, but I'm pushing all the wrong fucking buttons. Gather rice at sugarcane plantation. Okay, well, where's that? Actually, I'll go sleep here shortly, but where is the sugarcane plantation? Is that up here? Wish this would tell me. Okay, I'm gonna assume that's a sugarcane plantation. It kind of looks like one. All right, so we're gonna go up here. See if we can get some rice. Where do we get, like, the little beads? Like, the low-quality beads. These lights aren't working, by the way. Not that it matters. I don't think I've seen a fucking car actually on the road since we got here.
One lollipop? 2 lollipops? 3 lollipops? Don't mind me, Zach. This is how I wake myself up.
Wish I knew how I woke up. Maybe I've been sleeping this whole time. Wouldn't it be great if I woke up and it was still 2010?
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money.
Ever?
Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea of data. That would have been its fate. Instead, it traveled from person to person until it finally fell right into our lap. Things...
Another high quality bead. This whole thing is an illusion or a dream. One of the two. There are 2 side quests we can do right now and a main quest. Just need to get rice from here. Yeah, that's low quality cloth. Is this dude just T-posing here? If I didn't lose money, I would just like run in and start punching these people. It'd be funny. Chicory stem, sugar cane. Sugar cane and chicory flower. Now, how much chicory could you eat before you get upset that you're eating chicory? There, we got rice. Excellent. You see, you're not dealing with your average Saiyan warrior again.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Hungan. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. By the way, Zach, Hungan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African-American who appeared in a variety of different films. My mind must be overlapping him with the skeletal gentleman. Do you remember his name? Ah, yes, that's it. Scatman Crothers. In 1980, he played Dick Halloran in The Shining. And in 1983, he was in The Twilight Zone.
Scatman?
He played the man who invited all those elderly folks into a strange new world. I knew it, Zach. There's definitely a connection here, but he's a bit too old. Scatman's more of a sage character. Our skeletal gentleman is a little younger, isn't he? Yes. They have different body types, but what about Forrest Whitaker? He made his debut in 1982 in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Then he was in Platoon and The Color of Money, both released in 1986, followed by Good Morning Vietnam in 1987. Oh, and he was in Bird in 1988. What an
Reputation.
impressive filmography. Across the 80s, he transformed his rough, young image into a more cheerful, wiser one. That's why the 80s can also be described as the decade that built up Forrest Whitaker's career. I firmly believe that he'll win an Academy Award for Best Actor someday. Yes, I'm sure it's right around the corner. He'll most likely wait until the time is ripe. Maybe around next year, then he'll unleash his best performance yet. Zach, I could go on about famous actors forever, but we have a case to solve here. Let's table this discussion for now.
My favorite musician is Scatman John. That's definitely Pia's. Mostly because the music is just the sound of splattering shit and then her licking it. Someone recorded that and was like, yeah, that's my sound.
Verily.
Can I do anything with the high quality beads, or can I only make like low quality stuff? Yeah, I need low quality beads. Where the fuck do I get low quality beads? Looks like a dog fur. Figured I'd have enough to make something, but I do not.
I can see it. Thou hast.
Funnily enough, his favorite musician is a man scat. Yeah, I thought maybe the high quality beads would have been usable as well, but my guess is those are used to enhance the charms and not like make them.
This is the Deep South. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach? Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world, and there's hardly any trash or graffiti to be found anywhere. The Clarksons truly do control this place. For better or worse, it's a good example of how allowing certain people to rise to power can have positive effects as well. Also, don't you find that Southern people are remarkably friendly, even to total strangers? Both here and in New Orleans, I've been amazed at how cordial everyone is. Is it just the way things are down here? You certainly don't see that sort of thing in New York or D.C. They never stop to chit-chat. Especially when ordering food. They only say what's necessary, without any decoration. A customer only makes eye contact with the waiter about once every 3 times they interact. But that's just how it is. Isn't that right, Zach? The human relationships here are as fluid as an inorganic mechanism running on the smoothest, purest oil there is. And it feels strangely comfortable. After spending time in New Orleans and coming here, I think I'm starting to like the Southern disposition. They even have their own breed of bizarre crimes. And besides, the New Orleans area is famous for its paranormal culture. I'm sure it'll entertain us somehow. It's still a bit of a ways off, but perhaps we can also do a little case study for our post-retirement plan. What, you still think it's too early for that? I wouldn't say so. It's never too early to be prepared. Come on, I know you're with me on this one.
Damn it, I bumped into something, so he's gonna have to repeat all of that again. Lizard skin. Alright, well. Let's go to the hotel. This is gonna be the worst playthrough of this game ever because, well, hang on. Because people are gonna be watching and feel like, God damn it, move on in the game. Or I could be like Tayo and subject you to fucking 40 hours of bowling because the bowling is so bad and he will not give it up. He just has to keep doing it. Right, Tayo? Oops. Yeah. So many people in this are just T-pose. Cast a pineapple. Open the door, dude. Fuck. Such a tranquil music. Alleviates paralysis and poison.
King size, made in France. It looks soft enough to alleviate all our exhaustion. Zach, even though the Bureau is paying for this, it's still tiring to have to live out of hotel rooms day after day. Nothing beats getting a good night's sleep in your own room.
Get up at 9:50. The diner should be open then, right? What? Open my closet. What are you doing? Alright, we have a new outfit on. Alright. Let's go to the diner, and we'll do that part before we're done for today. I'm also very tired today, and it's making it very difficult to progress in the game. Becky FS also left the chat. Alright, our diner is right here.
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea of data. That would have been its fate. Instead, it traveled from person to person until it finally fell right into our lap. Things always work out that way for us. We've traveled all over the United States trying to track down Sang Rouge. We can't let this chance pass us by, can we, Zach? We need to find some sort of clue before this southern sun melts it all away.
Anyway, the music is also very chill, which makes it, which doesn't help make the game go easier to go through when tired. Yeah. No, we need to play the conversations as much as possible. 10 gauge needs it. He needs it in his life.
Sorry for the wait, Patty.
Whatever.
Is Mrs. Carpenter here?
No, she hasn't come in today.
Everything's going according to plan. It's time to knock down the 10 maidens, Zach.
All right.
Oh my lord, y'all are back? Listen up, y'all ain't gonna believe this.
What's wrong?
Mrs. Carpenter hasn't come in. For the first time in 10 years. What could it be? I just hoping nothing bad happened to her.
She's fine. You have my guarantee.
Oh my lord. I reckon if an FBI agent like you is convinced, then I should be too.
I reckon.
What did I tell you, Patty? Value is a relative thing. We needed to find that figurine, no matter the cost.
You're gonna pull a DBJ a freezer and keep a mental list of how many times we have the same conversation. What if you fart?
You really wanted to bowl that bad? They don't have bowling alleys in the city no more?
Wrong, Patty. I have absolutely no interest in bowling. Tossing a heavy ball at lined-up pins? Where's the fun in that? You can't even call this a sport. It's a game for cavemen. Nonsense. Utter nonsense.
Then can I throw the ball instead?
Absolutely not, Patty. This is part of the investigation. I need to do this myself, no matter how stupid it may be.
You're the one who's stupid. Sure looks like you're having fun to me.
Get a strike. That's the goal here? Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna go awful. Okay, well, didn't go nearly as bad as I thought it was. There's like so much to it. Okay, that went far worse than I thought it would. Yeah, but there's too much RNG to it. Like, you gotta pick exactly where to stand. Okay, that's fine. You gotta pick the ball. Strong or weak. And then the amount of spin. Okay, that's gonna be awful. Okay. Try 10 pound. Okay, we're getting closer. I did it.
Oh, looks like I finally earned myself a rival.
That was just a stroke of luck, Mrs. Carpenter. Despite how I may seem, I've never been any good at any of the ball-based sports that exist here on our planet.
It's 4 more times in a row.
No, you can't fool me. I can tell the FBI's giving you very special training.
Yeah, they specifically trained me how to
Gave
bowl.
you a few lessons on top of that. I'm sure you'd be able to go semi-pro.
Semi-pro?
That's right. That's what I said.
Not pro, but semi-pro.
Yes, semi-pro. You'd never be able to go pro. You don't have what it takes.
What an
You
insult.
could become a semi-pro if you tried really hard, though. Well, I guarantee it. Come back and see me when you feel like giving it a try. I'm sure my husband would forgive me if I let someone like you borrow my lane. Well, we gotta give youngsters a chance to grow. That's what we always say.
Dudes is great at all the ball-related sports on every
I
planet.
could actually go semi-pro?
I'd take her words with a grain of salt if I were you.
Patricia, I can understand why you'd be envious of my talents, but you don't need to worry. You have your own unique talents, just like any other person. You shouldn't have to feel inferior every time you look at me.
You're unbelievable. You sure you don't need to get your head checked out?
It's so strange, Zach. I feel like I'm discovering a new side to myself.
By the way, Mr. Special Agent, you said you're investigating the Lise Clarkson incident, yes? In that case, that poor girl Lise, she was a druggie, and she was into the really bad stuff.
Red powder.
Oh, no wonder the FBI picked you. You already figured out that much.
Back to his favorite Pokemon got away, guys.
Well, the reason Lise turned into such a little hoodlum is because of her mother, Galena.
Galena.
Mm-hmm. A mother only in name. Oh, as far as I'm concerned, she's still nothing more than a child herself. Oh, dressing up in fancy clothes, always out on the town somewhere. Children giving birth to children. If these aren't the end times, well, I don't know what is. Oh, and they were always cooped up in that jazz bar. Galena wouldn't know proper parenting if it hit her in the tush.
Zach, the jazz bar. We first heard about it from Patricia. It must be deeply connected with this case and the red powder. It must be San Rouge. Following the Oracle and felling the 10 maidens sure paid off, didn't it?
So, Mr. Special Agent, are you all finished here?
Yes, Mrs. Carpenter. Thanks to you, I've gotten a new lead.
Oh, then how about you mosey on and let me get back to my bowling?
Shut the fuck
I
up.
need to bowl my first game of the day or else I'm gonna get rusty. Well, what are you waiting for? Get a move on! Shoo! Shoo!
Super rude. Bowling has been unlocked. Never doing that again. Okay.
When the sun awakens, catch the tip of the baby bear's tail at the Force altar. At the entrance to the other world will reveal itself to you.
Zach, it's another oracle. It appears that we're being guided by a mysterious power.
Yep, that power is Tiamat.
This oracle is a simple one. The false altar. You already know what this is, right? The place where Lise Clarkson's body was first discovered. She was found under a bridge at some sort of altar as if she was being worshipped. That's what Chef David said, right?
Okay.
When the sun awakens refers to dawn, of course, and the tip of the baby bear's tail is the North Star. At dawn, look straight to the north from where Lisa's body was found. On the surface, this oracle may seem tricky and convoluted, but it's still mere child's play. Pathetic.
Oracle decryption complete.
Zach, let's follow the Oracle and head to where Lisa's body was found. I don't know what Otherworld refers to, but I'm sure we'll find out once we get there.
Oracle?
That's right, Patty. This case is a rather complicated one. So Zach and I are following oracles given to us by a skeletal gentleman in order to crack it.
In 6 and 8. Guess we gotta waste time for a while. That's fine. Let's go outside, save our game, and that's where we'll be done for today, though. Well, at least the bowling didn't take me nearly as long as catching the damn fucking notes in the first game's fishing game.
This is Lucari Tiger. Do you read me? Over. Lucari Tiger, to DC Eagle. Do you copy?
It's Daddy. Hurry up and answer.
This is DC Eagle. I read you loud and clear. Over.
Oh, good. Mr. York. I'm sure glad you picked up.
There's no point in using code names if he's just going to say my real name.
Mr. York, can you hear me? Hey, Mr. York. Oh, right. Over.
DC Eagle to Lucare Tiger. Is something wrong? Over.
Mr. York, I got something I need to tell you ASAP. Just sit tight and listen, okay? Over.
Roger, Wilco. Go right ahead. Over.
I just happened to overhear some of the Clarksons talking on another channel. Apparently, Lisa's mother's been missing since early this morning. I reckon it might be related to the case, so I wanted to let you in on it right away. Oh, over.
Lisa's mother. You're referring to Galena, the social butterfly? Over.
Another special agent slam dunk. So, you already did a little research on her, huh? That's right. The one who's gone missing is the younger of the Clarkson sisters, and our town's queen of the night. No one can slip one past me because I'm the ultimate FBI agent. Francis York Morgan! My proverbial hat goes off to your investigative skills, sir. Anywho, Galena used to be an actress, and she's also real pretty in the face. Draws attention wherever she goes. If you happen to spot her while you're investigating, would you let me know? Oh yeah, over. Wait, over this, over that. It all seems kind of overblown, don't you think? Size. I reckon we're the only ones listening to this. No need to be so stiff, right?
Yes, Melvin, I agree. There's no need for us to cling to formalities.
Glad to hear it. I ain't never been too good with formalities, you feel me? Well, Mr. York, if I hear any more news, I'll be sure to let you know. Good luck out there.
Daddy's such a goofball.
Patty, do you think Galena is really as beautiful as people say?
I don't know, I guess. Men just seem to like women like her for some reason.
Who's more beautiful, Galena or your mother?
What?
Candy Woods. Your mother. Melvin said she was the prettiest girl in town.
How should I know? That's a stupid question.
Why is it stupid?
My mom is sick.
Zach, that was a bad move. We stepped right into a private matter without any shoes on. But these things are bound to happen. After all, I'm a special agent of the FBI. And there isn't an organization out there that's more well-versed in the art of infringing on people's privacy.
Sorry, do you always answer Daddy? No. ostrich. YouTube, thank you very much for viewing. Hopefully today was okay. It felt rather like nothing got done, but that's just because I'm tired and this game has a lot of jank to it that is out there and wild and fun.